we see a relatively benign economic situation.
So Anthony, in a near zero interest rate world, where do you see the global economy right now?
Well, at the moment, we see the global economy as being in a low growth situation. We don't see it in recession. Employment is relatively strong in the US, which would give rise to the possibility of rate hikes along the way. We see slow growth in Europe, but Europe is emerging reasonably well from the 2011-2012 crisis and the ramifications of those low commodity prices on commodity producers, including people who invest in the market, the Middle Eastern countries as investors. But we've seen that those commodity prices overshot on the downside, and now we've seen the respite. And oil, particularly oil prices closer to $50, very significantly higher than they were in January and February. So we see a relatively benign economic situation. And so we see that the world economy is moving forward slowly. There are low interest rates. Where do you make money there when rates are low and a lot of rates are negative? We feel that in the area that we're invested in, there are many, many different opportunities, an abundance of opportunities, and one's really in quite a sweet spot. In particular, in the financial services industry, if one is prepared to take excellent names and go down to the subordinated debt level, one can find great opportunities. One example of that is the Dutch bank Rabobank, where even the retail investor can buy some 6.5% securities in euro at 110%, which gives nearly a 5.90 yield in euros. This is hugely above the level of the zero or even negative rates that one sees on government bonds. Now, these bonds are undated, so you have to live with maybe price movements, but that money is very good money coming in on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. That carry is very important. So this is a particular example of an excellent bank doing very well, and where even the retail investor can just pick up these securities, which are very liquid, and buy and get a good return. And the thesis behind that is, as long as the bank has a very good business, is a very high quality bank, and is not going to fall into financial distress, and we believe the financial system, because of the regulators and because it will become stronger over time as a system, the weaker banks will maybe have issues with their business models and so on, but we do not buy the weaker banks. We buy banks such as, coming back to this Rabobank, and cash in this very high yield. That's one example. In the corporate world, there are also examples of companies who have pulled a number of different levers in the recent months. Some of them are, again, undated bonds, such as BHP Billiton, the low-cost iron producer, major company, and some of them are companies where they've taken very good actions to get themselves right, such as Glencore, and some of them are companies which have done well throughout, which are volume producers, including companies such as Trafigura, which is based here indeed in Geneva.
And you've mentioned that we're not currently in a recession, but are we headed for a recession?
I don't see a recession coming in the world. The very low growth could mean that one moves technically into a situation where there may be a few months of what might be defined afterwards as being a recession. But I see us flatlining. There is growth, as I mentioned, in Europe. That's quite important. In Asia, there's still growth. In the emerging market economies, they're getting used to this, the effects of last year and the last years, where there have been much tougher conditions. But eventually we see those emerging out of that weakness. Even countries such as Brazil, eventually, we feel that the dynamics will mean that they emerge out of the crisis that they've had, and that there is a level of growth in the world economy that we have this slow growth moving forward, and one shouldn't be too concerned about recessions.
And many bond yields are close to 0%, so how can investors get a fixed return without excessive risk?
I've mentioned before in answer to the first question that if one goes down and goes into bonds which are slightly more sophisticated, where some of them have different terms, some of them are more for specialists and so on, but are available, and I mentioned the easy one with the Rabobank, but there are many other securities where sometimes the sizes are not necessarily for the small retail holders, because sometimes they come in sizes of $200,000 minimums, which means that it's much easier to invest in them through a diversified fund. But in that area, we find that we can get yields of 5% in euro, over 6% in US dollars, in a number of different names. And again, if one's working through a diversified fund, one is able to hedge the currencies back to whichever currency you want, whether it's even Swiss francs, where indeed in the Swiss franc market one can't get very high returns. But on a hedged back basis, one does get the returns of the closer to the 4-5% even after the hedging costs.
Fantastic. Well, Anthony, thank you so much for coming in today and sharing your insights.
Thank you.
That's all for myself and Anthony, but if you did like this interview, do like and comment on dukascopy.tv.